Says the Beis Halevi, v'zeh birum ha-medrash Rabbah, famous medrash, where the medrash says, Baruch hageva shasom Hashem eftachoi, zeh Yosef. The medrash says, you want a dugma, you want an example of a Baal Bitachon, zeh Yosef. V'leifon el rahovim, the b'shvil shamal es-ha'amashkim kim zechatani nitoisiv lo beis shanim. However, the medrash continues to say, v'leifon el rahovim, and explains the punishment of Yosef. That Yosef HaTzadik, because he asked the Sarah Mashkim to remember him before Paroi, that for that he was punished, and therefore he stayed behind for another 2 years in jail. And l'chor, it's a murdig steer in the Medrash. On the one hand, the Medrash tells us, if you want an example of a Baal Bitachon, look at Yosef. And on the other hand, the Medrash tells us that Yosef HaTzadik himself was punished for that lack of bitachon. Says the Beis Halevi, the legoidel betchoine shel Yosef. It's just the opposite. The Medrash comes to tell us Yosef HaTzadik was on such a high level of bitachon that for him, for him, for that level of bitachon, he should have known that, of course, his Yeshua doesn't even need that type of ishtadlus, even the mere ishtadlus of asking another human being to intervene on his behalf for such a level of bitachon. And indeed, as Chazal tell us that HaKadosh Baruch Hu by tzaddikim is medaktik a lot more. So for someone who was on such a high level of bitachon, HaKadosh Baruch Hu was medaktik even on these few words where he merely suggested to the Sarah Mashkim to intervene on his behalf for a level of bitachon that Yosef had. And that's what the Medrash is telling us. Yosef HaTzadik was on such a high level of bitachon that he didn't need any human intervention. And indeed, how do we know that? Because when he tried human intervention, he was punished for it. Because when a person reaches a level of bitachon like Yosef HaTzadik, of course it is clear that no human intervention is necessary. So what do we do with the fact that Yosef HaTzadik did it? There's a few interesting ideas on this. One fascinating idea that we have discussed multiple times in the past on other podcasts is the idea that Yosef HaTzadik also knew at the same time, as Chazal tell us, that Yaakov Avinu had to go through 22 years of suffering of Yosef because of missing out on the Kibbud Av V'Em, and Yosef knew that if he had gone out of jail, that 20 years would have finished, not 22 years. So Yosef HaTzadik did something that, for, of course, was not an Avera, but for his level, it was some type of pagam in order for his father, in order to prevent his father additional suffering. But of course, to our point, says the Beis Halevi, that of course the Medrash Rabbah is teaching us that when a person reaches that level, of course, there is no room for ishtadlus whatsoever, because the bitachon itself is the ishtadlus.